processing is completed, then CPU to RAM, RAM to ROM, right? And what about the components of CPU? CPU components. ALU, right? CPU components are three components are there. One is ALU, second one is MU, memory unit, and C is the control unit. So what is the role of ALU? It performs arithmetic and logical operations. Performs arithmetic and logical operations. Whereas what is the use of MU here? Just now I said before processing anything, before executing anything, the information or data must be stored. Must store it. Right? For storing the information, we use memory unit. Then what is the use of control unit? Control unit. What the name says, control unit, which controls? Here ఉంది కదా ఏంటది? Controls everything. Okay, now CPU components are there, ALU is there, memory unit is there, and control unit is there. What is the role of control unit? Whatever the incoming data is there, incoming data to the CPU and outgoing data from the CPU, everything is monitored and everything is controlled by the control unit, right? Same. Okay, whenever we talk about human brain also contains some processing unit is there. Processing unit is there, memory unit is there, and next one is that control unit is there. When it comes to memory unit, short-term memory అంటాము కదా, short-term memory and long-term memory అంటాము. And processing is there. We used to process the information. Okay, whatever the information we have stored in our memory is there, that must be processed. Whenever there is a question or query, right? And all these are controlled by the incoming data or outgoing data, which data is to be keep, okay, which data we need to keep, which data is to be removed, where to store, okay, why to store, all these are controlled by the controlling unit, right? Okay, this is the basic structure of any digital machine, right? And next one, okay, data types and operations are there. Next, when we have the operator also, when we have operators, lot of operators will be provided by any programming language, any programming language. Multiple operators are there. When we write an expression, that expression contains more than one operator, more than one operator. Then how those operators will be evaluated? What is the idea? What is the concept of evaluating in our expression? What we call that one? Something like this, right? Two brackets are there, for example, and 2 plus 3 into 4 divided by 5, and a percentage is there, and 6 is there. How to evaluate this expression? What is the basis for evaluating the expression? Arithmetic. మన స్కూళ్ళలో కూడా నేర్పిస్తారు కదా, మ్యాథ్స్ టీచర్ ఏంటది? What is that rule? Bodmas rule is there. Some bracket of, okay, division. Okay, that means which operator is to be given the first preference, which operator is to be given the second preference, third preference, second preference, like that. Okay, in the same way, even programming language also, every programming language has operator precedence. What we call that one? Operator precedence. What are the available operators are there in C language? For every operator, okay, there is a ranking, highest rank to the lowest ranking. Which operator is to be given the first preference? Which operator is to be given the second preference, third preference, fourth preference, like that. Around 14, 15, 16 are there. right? Okay, that is the idea of operator precedence, right? Then what about variable identifiers and variable? Just I want to revise some basic points. Variable is there, identifier. First of all, identifier. What do you mean by identifier? Memory, memory location. Okay, whenever we want to store a data or a file, file name is there, file name will be there. How to recognize? Okay, we used to store thousands of files. We used to store thousands of records. We used to store thousands of data elements. I want to store thousands of integers, thousands of float values, thousands of characters. How to recognize that one? How to access that one? The each and every element. For that, what we need? Some identifier, identification. Okay. Identification is nothing but named memory locations. Named memory location. At a particular point, okay, I want to store an integer value. So what is the name of that particular location? By that location, we can access it. We can perform any operation. Once the operation is completed, again we can store it at some other location. Right? Okay, this is about identification or variable. So what is the idea of variable? Variable. Basic storage component element are variable. Variable varies and varies or vary. Change, it can change. English word varies, vary, 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 varying, variance. In mathematics, it is there. Vary means change. Okay, there is a possibility of modification of that particular data element. So opposite to that variable, what is that one? Constant, constant, right? What is the purpose of constant? If something is declared as constant, we can use that value as it is. Whatever the value is there, we can use as it is. We cannot update or we cannot modify the constant value, right? Okay. Next, we will see two-way selection. Just write down heading two-way selection. Two-way selection. Just note down one point. Definition. Basic decision statement in the computer. Ah, just note on that one. The basic decision statement in the computer is the two-way selection. So generally, how the statements are executed in any programming language, when we write a number of statements, right? How the statements are executed, instructions are executed, basically line by line. Okay, statement 1, statement 2, statement 3, statement 4, something like that. The other case is that conditional statements are there. Conditional statement. What is that condition? Based on the condition. Okay, what it says? Based on the condition, the statements will be executed. Based on the expression value, the statement will be executed. Conditional statement means we can have two values, right? One is true. What is that one? True path. And next one is that false path, right? Just note on this diagram. Two-way decision logic. You have the decision condition, right? For this decision condition, we have two paths are there. That is true, either true or false. True path, false path. Decision condition, one path is true path, the other path is that false path. Both the paths cannot be executed at the same time. Only one path will be executed. Boolean algebra అంటాం కదా mathematics లో Boolean algebra. Only two values will be there, either true or false. If the expression value true, for example, this particular statement will be executed, right? If the expression value false, the false path will be executed. False path will be executed. Only one path will be selected. Only one path will be selected, and if that statement is executed, then the task is completed. Ah, first heading if else statement, right? If else statement is C implements two-way selection with the if else statement, and if else statement is a composite statement used to make decisions for decision making purpose. How this decision making is implemented with help of if else statement. C implements two-way selection with the if else statement, and if else statement is a composite statement used to make a decision between two alternatives, two choices. Choice 1 true, choice 2 false. True path, false path. Only one path must be selected, executed. Finally, and note down the syntax. Syntax means how to write the if else statement. If, write down. If bracket expression, then statement 1, else statement 2. If expression, then statement 1, else statement 2. This is the syntax to write if else statement. Okay, in programming language, what are the features are there? What are the features or functionalities of programming language are there? All features, functionalities are very simple concepts. Okay, what is the definition? What is the purpose of that particular feature? Okay, and how to write? That means what is the syntax for that particular feature? And some sample code to understand that one. That is enough. Right? Programming language is not tough. So how these statements are executed? If the expression value true, okay, if the expression value true, then statement 1 will be executed. Right? This expression, what are this expression is there? If the expression value true, then statement 1 will be executed. If the expression value false, okay, false means other path, else part will be executed. Else part means statement 2 will be executed. Simple. Right? Okay. If expression statement 1, else statement 2. Else part is the false path, false path. And the first statement is the true path, and okay, this statement 2 is a false path. And statement 1 related to true path. Okay. Note down one example, or you can write any simple statement also. One sample code. If A equal to B, then one printf statement is there, else another printf statement. So here in this, what is that expression we have? A equal to B, equality. If A equal to B, it is true. If it is true, this is for true. This statement for false. Okay. So what is the output we'll get for this? A is initialized with 2 and B is initialized with 2. Both the values are same. So which statement will be executed? 2 equal to 2. A is 2 and B is also 2. 2 equal to 2. True or false? It is true. True means the first statement. Hello will be printed. Okay. If two different values are there, then other path, else part will be executed. This else part is executed. Right? Next one, nested if. Just write down nested. Nested if statement. Nested if. What is the idea of nested if? Nesting means grouping a statement inside another statement. A if statement inside another if statement. Right? A loop inside another loop. Right? You can say a condition, in that condition, again that condition is divided into some other condition, part of condition. In that case, you can use nested if else statement. Okay, note down this syntax, this one. If expression 1, then inside this if statement, another if statement is there. That's why we have created a block. Note the same thing as it is. If expression 1, then block is created. Again, if expression 2, statement 1, else statement 2. Note down the same as it is in a box only. The box means specific area, particular area. Completely, it is treated as one unit. In C language, we use the open bracket, closing bracket, set of open and closing bracket. What we call that one? In C language, whenever we use open bracket and closing bracket, ఏమంటాము? Open bracket and some statements are there and closing bracket. What we call that one? Block of code. Block of code. What do you mean by block of code? More than one statement is there. All these, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, total 6 statements are there, 6 instructions are there. All those 6 instruction is treated as a single unit. Single unit. Remember that one. Okay. For example, if there is no block, if there is no block, then what happens? All the statements are separate statements. Right? Remember that one. See the difference. Right? If there is no block, that means if there is no open bracket and closing bracket, for example, 6 statements are there. All these 6 statements are individual statements, separate statements. Individual statements are separate statements. Okay? But and when we use block, when we create a block, for example, open bracket and between open and closing bracket, where we have some 6 statements are there. Now, all 6 statements are separate or individual? Only one. Only one. Okay, only one single unit. One single unit. Note the syntax. You note just make it fast. This one. So what do you mean by this? F expression 1, how many values will be there? True or false. అంతే కదా. For every expression, we can have only 2 values, either true or false. If it is true, Remember that. If the expression value true, enter into the block. Enter into the block. And if the expression value false, leave the block. Leave the block. వదిలేసేయాలి. Simple, right? If the expression value true, enter into the block. If the expression value false, don't enter into the block. Leave the block. Leave the block. That means, for example, how it works. If the expression value true అనుకోండి, if the expression value true, then we'll enter into this area. Enter into this area. Again, what statement we have? Logical. All are logical thinking only. Okay. Logically think. Then, okay, we have enter into this area. Again, what statement we have? What statement we have? If expression 2. Again, we have expression 2. Again, we have two paths. Expression in two paths. True path and false path. True path means enter into the next statement. Execute the next statement. Okay. If the expression value false, leave the next statement. Leave the next statement. For example, if expression value true, true అయితే ఏమొస్తుంది? If the expression 2 value is true, then statement 1 will be executed. Statement 1 will be executed. Okay, we are in this block only. ఈ ఏరియాలో ఉన్నాం. ఇక్కడ కాదు. ఓకేనా? We are in this block area only. Okay. If the expression 2 value false, false అయితే ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళాలి? False. Statement 2 will be executed. All are logical thinking, nothing is there, right? If the expression value true, enter into this block, enter into this area. Enter అయినాం తర్వాత ఏముంది? మళ్ళీ expression ఉంది. Again we have expression 2 is there. Expression 2 means two possibilities. One is true possibility, true path. The other one is false possibility. Again, okay, if the expression value true, statement 1 will be executed. If the expression value false, else path will be executed. Statement 2 will be executed. That's it. Close. Okay. This execution is closed. Now, the first expression value false అనుకోండి, not true. The expression value true అయితే దీంట్లోకి ఎంటర్ అయ్యాము. ఓకేనా? If the expression value false అనుకోండి, ఏం చేయాలి? False అంటే ఏం చేయాలి? Leave the area, leave the block. ఈ ఏరియా మొత్తం వదిలేసేయాలి. Don't touch this area. Don't touch this area. Then what is that else statement? That is statement 3. Else part will be executed. If this expression value is false, then statement 3 will be executed. Okay? That's why creating a block is very, very important. Creating blocks, but that means open bracket and closing bracket. That is very, very important. Right? A concept అర్థమైంది కదా? Logical. Expression value true. Enter the next line. Go to the next line. Again, expression is there. Again, two paths. Expression 2 ki true, false. True అయితే first statement, false అయితే next statement, else statement. ఇక్కడ మనం false అనుకోండి, ఇదంతా ఒకటే ఏరియా. True path. This is true. This is false. Right? For this expression value false. Okay? ఇది రాశారు అది? Note down this example, make it fast. Program. Make it fast. Hash include stdio.h int main void, and two variables are there, a and b. A of type integer, b of type How to read that one? A is a variable of type integer. B is a variable of type integer. And how to read this main function? Main, int main. Main function return type is integer. Main function return type is integer. And for every program, at the end of program, we used to write return 0. Return 0 నే కదా మనం రాస్తాం కదా return 0. What is the meaning of return 0? Whatever the programming is there, okay, it is expecting integer value, integer type, integer. Remember, main function type is overall. Main function type is integer type. And finally, we write return 0 statement is there. We are returning the value 0. What do you mean by that? Okay, how the program is executed? With help of operating system. With help of operating system, because each and every, remember, this is operating system. Operating system is a very big software, very big software, complex software, which is composed of thousands of programs, right? Operating system. What is the definition of operating system? Operating system acts as an interface between man and machine, human being and machine. It acts as an interface between human being and machine. And remember, hardware components, all hardware components are under the control of operating system. All softwares are under the control of operating system. Each and every resource is under the control of operating system. Okay, I want to execute the program. Then whose permission we need to take? We must take the permission of operating system. Must take the permission of operating system, because each and everything, all hardware components, all softwares, everything is controlled, monitored, and managed, everything by the operating system. I want to execute a program means I must take the help of operating system, right? So at the end, we just write a return 0 statement. Once the task is successfully completed, once the program is successfully completed, okay, we are returning value to the operating system. Okay, my program is successfully completed without any error, without any problem. Correct? Nested if statement. If statement inside another if statement. If A is less than or equal to B, again we are dividing the condition into sub condition. For example, again if A is less than B, this expression value true, the first printf will be executed. Otherwise, false means second printf will be executed. If this expression value false, this final else print will be executed. The last one. Just logical వెళ్ళండి step by step. Line 1, line 2. Line 1 expression is there. Then true path. Otherwise else path. Else means false. ఈ expression true అనుకోండి, then this statement will be executed. This statement will be executed. If the expression value is false, then else part will be executed. Else part means this one. Okay? Simple. If the expression value true, here we will enter it in this area. Again, this expression value true, this will be executed. If the expression value false, false means else part, this will be executed. Okay? Output gives some any value. In C language, equal symbol. In two ways we can use equal symbol. What we call that one? First operator and what is the second operator? First one is when we use two equal symbols. What do you mean by that? Equality check is for equality checking, right? Either true or false. We are checking for true or false. Second one, what we call that one? Assignment statement. It is assignment operator. Okay, how to read assignment operator? Left to right or right to left? In programming language, the processing is done mostly from left side to right side. For some operators, the processing is done from right side to left side. Okay. In that case, one is that assignment operator. Assignment operator. For example, if I write A, 10 is there, not at the beginning, not at the beginning. At some particular steps, okay, we have statement A equal to 0. No, but here it is not equal. How to write this statement? Value 10 from right side. Value 10 is assigned to the variable A. A is equal to 10 కాదు. A is equal to 10 and చదవకూడదు. Value 10 is assigned to the variable A from right side to left side. Okay. This is how the processing is done for assignment statement. Assignment statement. And next one, note down conditional statement. Conditional statement. Just note down the heading, conditional expression. Write down. C provides an alternative. Juma. Same thing, if else statement can be written with the help of conditional expression also. What we call this? Ternary operator. It is called ternary operator. Question mark operator. Say this. It is called ternary operator. Remember that one. C provides a convenient alternative to if else for two-way selection. It is called ternary conditional expression. Just write the syntax, this one. Expression 1 syntax. How to write the ternary operator? Expression 1 question mark expression then expression 2 or expression 3, no problem. Expression question mark expression 1 colon expression 2. Same as if else statement. In another way to write if else statement. by taking the help of ternary operator. Expression 1, question mark, expression, okay, expression 1, expression 2. నోట్ చేసుకున్నారా? Example, example statement. A equal to equal operator. A equal to B, ternary operator, question mark. సాయి పోయింది. ఇదా? A equal to B, question mark, then C plus plus. So how to understand this statement? How to understand this statement? If A equal to B, then C plus plus 1. If the expression value is true, true means C plus plus will be executed, right? If the expression value false, if the expression value false, D plus plus will be executed, right? Simple. In a single line, we can write the if else statement. Okay? How you can write this one? If A equal to B, then C plus plus, else D plus plus. Okay? The same thing can be written with the help of ternary operator like this. Same, both the statements are same meaning. So what we call this operator? Ternary operator. Next one, repetition, right? Write down. Repetition statements. Repetition statements. Repetition statements. Write down. The real power of computer is, just note down one point. The real power of computers is the real power of computers is in their ability to repeat an operation, to repeat an operation or a series of operations many times. This repetition is called looping, loops. Just one line, Ryan, on this definition. Finish? Ah, under this, note on the side heading, pre-test and post-test loops. Pre-test and post-test loop. What it says, pre-test loop and post-test loop. Pre means before, right? That means before performing repetition, okay, we must check the expression value, right? If the expression value true, then perform the repetition, right? If the expression value true, perform the repetition. If the expression value false, don't perform. Okay, no, nothing to perform, nothing to perform. Okay, that is pre-test. Pre means before itself. Whereas post-test, post means afterwards, right? Here learn student. Pre means first check the expression,